So, triangles. Mason, do you like triangles? Come on, we're not getting away from the triangles anytime soon. So you gotta fall in love with it. All right, everything's whether it's gonna be the proofs that we did, and then before then we actually started looking at some of the properties that we're gonna start applying with this new unit.
Are there square proofs?
Here's how it boils down, Jackson. Everything that we do goes back to triangles. We can break up, quadrilaterals into two congruent triangles, and then we work on the properties there. The properties that we're going to start now in this unit, which is Unit 1D, doesn't mean much to you guys, but that's for us. We're going to start moving from the outside of the triangle, improving them congruent, and now we got to work on the inside and start looking at those properties. So one of the first things that we're going to do is we need to do a little bit of review, because it's been a little bit since we've talked about
angle relationships.
Yes, angle relationships. So you and your shoulder partner, you are pick one, rock, paper, scissors, quick. Figure out who gets the paper out.
I got it. I still want to do it. I still want to do it.
All right.
Dude, seriously, don't do it. Don't do anything stupid.
All right, get a piece of paper out. Yes. Not yet. All right.
Feeling that it's going to.
You and your shoulder partner, according to this, please make sure that we trace the parallel lines and the transversal. And that's as much as I give you. The rest of it needs to be, you can make sure you're labeling the diagram. Now, those are the instructions I'm giving you. You have to figure out what you label it with. Knowing that what's coming next is a little finger DDR. Okay? Alright, so work with your shoulder partner. Take turns, work together.
Wait, what are we labeling them over? To draw that diagram. Yeah, good.
So what do you think you're labeling?
The angles? Interior angle.
What does he say?
So these are like interior angles, right? So right that.
Are you not supposed to tap the mic?
Yep, and then how would you guys label that?
Hypocrite.
One number.
Yes. Focus. And let's label.
Yeah, it's good.
Work together. Alright, let's label. What do you think?
I think we're doing geometry. Yeah, geometry James. Love it. Alt X.
Okay, so now what does that mean? What do those mean?
The angles?
Yeah, like how would you label it?
Like alternate exterior, alternate interior, corresponding. The parallel
Alright,
lines
so
on
how
the
do you do
outside.
that? Like, how would you show that?
Oh, we gotta write like 1 and 6, or 1 and 6, or this,
Nice
1
job,
and 7.
Would be like on the same, like would be 1 and 5.
Good job, Ryan.
No, Josh, you get right on. Wait, hold on.
I think that would be it, because they're on different.
1 and 8 are alternate exterior, 2 and 7 are alternate exterior. We're not doing
So let's just write alternate exterior and then list all the numbers of that.
Yeah, how would you label it?
We'll start with
Two
interior.
numbers. What else?
So that would be 4 and 5 and 3 and 6.
That's good. Alright, keep going. What else? What other ones can you find?
Interior or exterior?
Alright, so there, you got numbers. I like
Oh, so we can do this.
No, we have to
They have to be
angle
interior.
relationships. Okay, so
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Okay, no. Ready? What's this? Supplementary. Oh, yeah. Corresponding. Vertical. Yeah, I know. Now click new.
Alrighty.
Interior.
Okay, so that would be
3 and 6 are alternate interior.
3 and 6. There's an alternate. How did you number those? 4 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and then
Alright, are you coming up with the same ones?
1 and 7.
Good. They should be really similar, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we have the same number.
Alternate exterior.
4
so that
and
would
6 are
be
same side interior.
2,
Yes.
7.
Is this alternate interior or exterior?
6.
This is exterior.
And so then put
I already wrote down the interior.
So how would I label that?
So 45.
Aside from just numbers.
Wouldn't you how would you label vertical though? But how would you label it?
It's like 1 and 4 vertical.
Somewhere up the side. Just so that you kind of got a little cheat sheet, right?
Oh, we're allowed to do that.
And maybe just a couple. Remember, we don't need them all for our little warm-up, but... Okay.
So 1 and 5 are supplementary.
Corresponding would be 6 and 2.
Same side exterior.
6 and 2 are corresponding. 8
Yeah, they're all
and then 7 and 3 and 1 and 5.
Same side exterior.
1 and 5.
same side exterior.
Same side exterior angles are supplementary. So you,
Oh.
so that's why you.
Alright. Do you have them all? Pretty close?
4 and 6.
Okay, how about you guys? Alright, good.
All of these are
Alright,
corresponding.
Jason, Nathan.
7, 7,
Yeah.
3.
Okay, Joe, Tyler, Joe.
fair, right?
8, 4.
Alright, Josh, how close are you guys got them all? Pretty much? Well, which ones are you missing?
Same side.
Same side.
Okay.
Do we have to do vertical too?
Are those pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you. Okay.
I don't think so. I won't need to.
And so same side interior.
Oh, not complementary. I'm sorry. I mean corresponding.
Yeah, those are good.
It would be like these two.
Wait, was that a good thing or a bad
Wow,
thing?
They're good.
I would include the year 2 that's it.
5 or 8 or 4.
That's pretty awesome. Not parallel.
These two.
Alright, if we could, wrap it up in about 30 seconds. See as many as you can get on there.
1 and 4.
No, because I know what they are. Just I'm doing it as a second one.
How are you gonna get your fingers like that?
Yeah.
It seems so small.
I could use maybe in my
That would be 2 and 8. And 1 and 7. There. Good.
They would write on like blue notebook with blue pen.
Okay. I'm gonna write my name.
Write my name too.
A-R-U-H-I.
Alright, 30 seconds is up.
Good.
Alright, Josh, here's what we're gonna do. Alright, we need to do a little finger calisthenics because we don't want to hurt our fingers. Okay? I know you guys are laughing when I said this yesterday, but we need to, just like we did it when we did it in the classroom with our feet, now we gotta do the same thing with our, alright. So first, we'll start with a couple of push-ups, alright? Ready? How many?
10.
10. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Count aloud. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, awesome, good. Alright, sit-ups, ready? How many? We'll keep it 10. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, jumping jacks, ready? Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, good. So your fingers are warmed up. Now, one of you will be the caller. I know that's like square dancing style. But here's what we need to do. So one person's going to be watching the screen and calling them out. The other person needs to just be looking at the paper in front of them. Find the angles as quickly as you can and be ready for the next one. Alright, we've got a little house music for our DDR, or DD geometry. Okay?
You're calling? Yeah. Everyone's calling? Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, figure out who's the caller and who's the first person. We'll do it a couple of times. Alright, here we go. Fingers ready. Callers ready.
And then you just
And then I'm
interior corresponding.
Alternate exterior.
Alternate interior. Alternate exterior. Vertical. Alternate exterior.
For now, focus.
Vertical.
Corresponding.
Alternate interior.
Alternate corresponding.
Alternate exterior. Alternate interior. Alternate exterior. Corresponding.
Alright, so we're going to switch now. Switch the papers, switch the columns.
It's harder than with your than on your feet.
right, remember now the second person, well, you get a little bit more advanced version. All right, here we go.
Alternate interior corresponding alternate exterior vertical. Alternate interior vertical. Alternate exterior. Alternate interior corresponding vertical. Alternate exterior. Alternate exterior corresponding vertical. Alternate exterior. Alternate interior vertical. Corresponding. Alternate exterior vertical.
All right.
How are we going to do this?
I just had my hands on.
All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. I got a little handout for us. We've got to keep all of those angle relationships that we just practiced. Keep those in mind. This is one of those problems in which there's not going to be a real quick answer. It's something that you're going to have to work at. Now, you're working with your partner, but you're also in groups of how many?
4.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're just bound to the person that's sitting next to you. Please use the people on the other side of you, diagonal from you. Work together, but you are working in a partnership, all right? Now, here's the problem, okay? So, does it look a little bit like some of the stuff that we just got done doing?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, now help me with that one, because I'm old. Why does that relate back to what we've been doing?
Because if you take like one side of the triangle, like or one of the legs, and like you take the two parallel lines, and it's kind of like the floor.
Okay, why don't we go a little bit more, more general, like,
Because we just did dance geometry, and in it we're doing alternate exterior corresponding.
Good.
And that has to be present if there are parallel lines.
okay.
And there's parallel lines right there.
Okay, so we talked about parallel lines. Now going back to the triangle, what did we do? It wasn't just triangles, they were triangle what?
Proofs.
Okay, so how does this relate back to the triangle proofs? What's the first giveaway? Shayla.
Like the transversal.
We're getting there.
The angles.
We're getting there.
The lines are parallel.
Guys, it's real plain. Like, how does that relate to what we've just been doing?
There's something we have to prove.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Because it says prove that.
That's exactly it. But before the proof, what else was given? What else was stated? Brian.
That is I forgot.
Good, but what does it say about that? The first word given. So we have to assume, and then they gave the word proof. And that's exactly where we've been. We talked about transversals, so that's why we just reviewed those. Now, take a look at all three of those questions. Look at the 3 questions that are on that page that are sitting in front of you and your partner. Okay? Now, each of you have one just so that you've got, feel free to write on all of them, one of them, you and your partner. It's up to you. Okay? So, think about everything you have in your toolbox, and we're going to spend, I'm figuring at least, 10 minutes for this one. It's up to you. Let's see how we can do it, and then we need to come back and see what we can draw, what conclusions we can figure out. All right? So let's see how you guys do.
Okay, so it says that we're trying to find out that A plus B plus C is 180 degrees. And we know that line DE and AC are parallel. So
There's just 2 lines, it creates a triangle.
and we can use the alternate interior corresponding all those properties since we know that they're parallel. Well,
Since it's a triangle.
Wait, can we use our book?
of course, yeah, they do. Huh? Yeah, we're trying to prove that.
Can we just use our book?
I don't think so. Just use your mind. What are some of the reasons? What are some of the reasons
you can draw
you
out.
could use to help
Before we go
prove
straight to the book, let's see what knowledge you can draw out. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay.
So it's a triangle. The definition of a triangle. No wait.
Not necessarily. That's just an angle degree. That's just a measure. You know what I mean? But there's.
Okay.
Think about what you got in your toolbox.
We're not trying to find out congruency. All we have to do is, it's like the definition of.
Well, we don't have to find what they are.
Okay, so there's a triangle.
Alright, because we know that this happens, then this
It's pretty straightforward that the three angles added up end up being 180. So we want to use all those alternate parallel.
Does it have anything to do with like supplementary?
Make sure to pull it all together.
Yeah. The three angles are the 180 degrees.
This isn't true, but for example, that's what they mean by the third one, and this is X. That's what they mean for the third one. But for the second one, some of the reason, well, it's a triangle, it has to be 180.
Yeah.
It does.
Is that for number one? Like, it's a triangle?
So what is it asking you to do?
To state
Prove that A plus B plus C is 180.
Yeah. So how do you prove it?
it's a triangle. It's a definition of a triangle.
Well, think about what you have.
There's
What,
3 points and they
all right.
make a triangle.
But what did they give us? We gotta go back to what did they?
Parallel.
Okay. So think.
Transversals?
That's what you guys decide. Think about all the proofs that we just did, and anytime they were parallel, what normally.
Oh,
Okay, so maybe that's a good start.
The angles, right?
no, alternate interior congruent.
Yeah.
this extra part for it to be supplementary.
All right, are you guys getting stuck, or are you guys doing a good job?
180 degrees.
We're getting there.
Okay, so Sharon's group, I just gave them a good. I gave them a little bit of a lead. So, what does the given say?
That DE is parallel to AC.
Okay, so how do you think you're gonna use that?
It's a transverse. It makes a transverse.
Okay, good. Now you guys are good. So you're good.
B is the midpoint of DE.
We know that.
Yeah, but see, for this,
It's up to you.
There's some teams
wouldn't it be definition of a transversal?
Good. So you guys are just writing down things as they come up, right?
Instead of writing it all out, just write definition of a transversal. That's a smart.
Oh, Nathan's going full boring like form of proof. Okay.
But we had to do that.
Good.
All right. It just works for organizing.
That's good. It's a great way to organize it.
All right. So now you can see that the problem. Well, it doesn't say. I don't know.
And that's like the definition. But
Okay.
there's another way you could approach it.
There's a bunch of different ways, but it's up to you. But remember, what are we gotta go with what's given.
See, we just can't say that triangle 180 degrees added up, so we have to prove it using
But
the given,
remember,
right?
they're parallel.
Okay.
So in all the triangle proofs that we've done, if you've got parallel lines, what usually comes next?
Transversal.
Okay, and after that,
Okay. Well, we were going the right direction with the A.
so that's your basic definition.
Okay.
Now you're gonna build on what
I don't know why we're singing that.
But no numbers have been given to us.
So like if we had a very good question, it's
Besides 180.
how far have you got?
Oh, I got it. Okay. We take the top part. We know that this is A, B, and C. A line. This is a line. 180. Oh. So it doesn't have to be the triangle in general. Oh. Okay. So we should put this in a proof form. Be that way. Okay. So statement and reason. So statement. The first one would be that it's given that line DE is congruent to line AC. The reason is given. Parallel, my bad. They're parallel, so that's given. Then, using this information, we know that AB is a transversal in the parallel lines.
I don't know how to say it. Like I know.
I know. Okay, wait. Transversal.
Mason, you put like having two angle measurements
Okay.
and then doing
BA intersects. What's the intersecting symbol?
let's do angle CBE like that to show that.
Yeah.
So like angle.
But then if we want to, no, where I'm leading up to is that alternate interior angles. And if we want to do that, then we have to show a transversal first. That, oh, there is a transversal. That's why there is a...
A line through two parallel lines. That's what we thought it said.
So, do we have to write that in the proof, saying that, oh, there's an intersection? Because if a person only looks at the proof, then they'll not know that there is actually an intersection.
Okay.
So line AB intersects line.
What's your reasoning?
What's your? Well,
I don't think we have to put it.
It's the definition of a triangle. That's what Meat says. It's a definition of triangle.
But how do you know that?
Exactly.
Because it's a
Learned
triangle.
in elementary school, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a triangle.
This is, so what do you have in your toolbox? Like, what do you have at your disposal
It's a
that you didn't have then to prove?
Knowledge of
'Cause here's why
triangles.
you know that it's 180, because your fourth grade teacher told you so.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's not going to
exactly.
cut it, all right? So now we're in big boy math, and now we've got the tools. We've got to be able to prove it.
So we have transversals and we have supplementary angles.
Okay.
That's all we.
What else do you have? If you've got transversals, what else do you have?
Vertical angles,
Vertical, good. What else?
corresponding,
Okay.
alternate interior.
Good. Yeah, those are
No
good ones.
wonder we did dance dance.
Alternate interiors are good
Use
ones.
it, guys. There's a connection between this.
Well, measures angle EBC is equivalent to 180 degrees because of the angle addition postulate. You remember that?
Yeah.
Angle add postulate. Okay. So because
So we know that.
so because
So we say
because of
DBA.
oh, I know. So that means that our next statement would be measure angle B plus measure angle A plus measure angle C equals 180 degrees per substitution property.
I feel like we did too much work. Probably.
because that is they're all supplementary. Yes, I got it. A plus B angle. Oh. Angle DB A plus angle
Would you be able to?
C plus
You know
angle.
what I mean? Like, would you be able? Could you do that up here? Check to see if you can reach.
180 degrees.
Alright, not yet. We're close. Alright, you guys got about a minute. How many people are like just so close? Alright, keep working, keep
Okay, we
working.
got it. How would you support this proof?
That is really awesome. Wow. Now, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
No.
Jackson.
I
One,
was-
2, 3 yeses, 1 no. Alright, see if you can convince them.
I feel like we did too much work.
No, that's
Jackson.
a little bit, but you're on the right track.
Jackson.
Wait until you see what Ethan drew and combine it with what you guys did. That's the perfect solution. Okay. Now a couple people have got sentences, and some people got 2 columns. Some people have algebra. This is great.
I forgot to put together.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's really good. That was the conclusion that we were really looking for.
Everything up here first.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would.
Basically,
Good. All right. So here we go. We've got the 10 minutes up. And here's what we're going to do. Real quick, Jake, how close are you guys?
Really quick.
All right, what if we give you just a little hint? All right, Ethan, can you give them a little hint, please? All right, so here's one of the things I noticed is walking around the room. I have the luxury of being able to bounce from table to table to table. Some people drew pictures. Well, it was good. That's a great way. That visually showed. Some of you went, Nathan and Nathan's group went way formal. They did the 2-column proof. Shaylin's group wrote sentences. Great. Okay, good. You see how he did that? So he's saying that angle is which angle? Okay, good. Okay. Pranav, you guys had, can you give a little bit, can you add on to that?
Oh, I can.
From your diagram? Pranav, from your diagram, can you add on to that? So if you drew A here, what would be that? Can you draw that for me? Yeah. Sorry. All right, now I can tell by the excitement in the group that's got the floodgates are open.
How did that hurt you?
You got it?
She gets her easy.
We did
That's good. Nice job.
exactly this.
Good. Now do they understand that? Okay, now we gotta talk through it.
We did that, but we put more time into it.
All right.
And we didn't only draw it, but we made it.
Now, how many did that help? Did that help? Okay, all right, couple groups. All right, see if you can't come up with a conclusion in like 60 seconds, all right?
These two are correct because are ultra interior instead of
They're on the same side though, right?
yeah.
So they would have to be on the opposite side of the transversal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. See what I mean?
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a perspective thing, but yeah.
When you have two transversals, it really messes with you.
Plus, like this part, so we 140. But we have the same thing. We just reverse it. Then from here.
So we had the same thing using a different transversal.
All right, conclusion.
We use both of them.
Let's see what we come up with. Reasons. Real quick. So,
Yeah, this was supposed to.
Pranav and Ethan were nice enough to give us a little bit of a spark. What were the reasons why they could do that? Who can, Josh? Good, that kind of opens it up, doesn't it? Okay. Then from alternate interior angles, where were some people thinking? Like, how would I?
Well, since A, B, and C were right next to each other, that meant that they're supplementary, and all supplementary angles add up as 180 degrees. So that just concluded the whole thing.
Okay. And that's where we're trying to get at. And again, Gautam and I had a great conversation. It's because. Yeah, what was your because? What was my because to you, Gautam?
Because
Who told you?
the fourth grade teacher.
Yeah, did she ever prove it to you?
No.
No, she just told you that they always add up to 180, right? And that was, how many people found that to be kind of in the way? Yeah, all right, so we kind of have to break down those barriers and say, all right, just because we know, now we have to get past that and say algebraically, like using proof. How could we do that? Okay, how we prove it, all right? Now, once we're there, now we can start using that theorem a little bit differently, okay? Now we're going to start applying that theorem because, again, Gautam said you guys learned it in fourth grade. Excellent. Now we know the geometric proof and the logic and the thought behind it. Now we're going to see if we can algebraically do it. But before we do that, you've been sitting for longer than I need you to be sitting, so we need to take a brain break. But there's a reason why, so we need to know winners and losers because it depends on whether you win or you lose, okay? But you've got to stand up and do this, okay? All right, just make sure you're watching what you're doing. All right, rock, paper, scissors, math. 3 out of 5. Adding. Yep, adding today. With your partner, your shoulder partner, Al. All right, once you're done, have a seat. Who won? Okay.
Yay!
That's surprising.
Yeah.
All right, have a seat. Who? Have a seat. We're not doing around the world winning. All right. So at this point, Connor, winner or not winner? Good. All right. So at this point, pick one person to start. Now, everybody's got one.
I'll start.
Okay. So your rules are the same as my rules. Pick one person to start. You may choose any angle to start. I say winners get to start. Okay. So if you won, you rock paper scissors math.
Get to start.
I don't.
Okay.
I want to.
All right. So here's what you are going to do. You and your partner, you both have a sheet. Pick one to work on them. Put both of your names. So see, there's a space for two. Now, the not winner is the one that's writing the first one. The winner is the one that's picking and solving. Okay? You might need calculators, but probably not. I think it's up to you. You got your phones, your calculators, whatever. So we've got about 10 minutes to see how far we can get. Hopefully we can get all around all the angles. Okay? All right.
Okay. Since I won,
Does this make
you're
sense?
gonna be
All right?
writing. Yes, that was
Not in
70.
any. It's however order you want to.
Find out n.
All right. You guys good?
Find
Make
angle
sense?
n.
Okay.
Let's solve for n first, because that's the easiest. So 90 plus 60 equals 150. 80, 180.
I'm trying to find one angle.
You can just get it. Just get m.
No, yeah, I am. So
You guys need calculators?
find this. So you find this angle, then you get
P.
M.
No, but 90 plus 60. Yeah, 30. It's 30 degrees.
Does this make sense?
Oh, I get it.
But explain how it's corresponding, Amo. Explain how it's
I
corresponding.
think it's okay. Well, I think it's like so is equal to this. Okay. Well, okay. 60, 90. It's 150. This has to be 30. So add it together.
We know that.
would be 100. Let's write all this down.
Oh, so there.
Yeah, 60.
I have almost solved for P.
That's M. M is 30 degrees. 180. This is N. That's N. Is 82. So P is 82.
Now you guys working
68.
together.
68 plus 30 ends up being 98. That minus 180 ends up being 92. That's 92.
Wait, that's a pentagon, not a
90.
triangle.
P is equal to 82. 82. My bad. 82 because it's vertical.
Good. You guys take the turn.
P is equal to
They
vertical.
found it.
What is 82?
One solve. Just have to explain it.
Okay. Alright.
I know you guys just get a math problem and just dive in, right? But here's a big thing is to make sure, like, why is it?
70.
Real quick, just this plus this plus this.
Okay. Oh, not
I'll
190.
do this turn. So 90.
I'll explain Q. Wait, hang on, let me explain Q.
Negative 42.
Remember, don't
90,
divide and conquer. Work
98,
together on these, right?
I know we're kind of
You guys are
confused.
doing great.
That's all.
Okay.
Oh, what is it? Explain.
Q yet?
I mean, he's
M and 30 degrees because I'm just gonna use a calculator if you don't mind. 60 plus 90 plus 70.
Nice job.
Oh my God,
Q is 28.
S
is 70. Wait, Q is no, it's not. No, it's not. Just kidding. Q is 28. Add up the other two angles and subtract.
Alright, is it my turn now?
Oh wow.
28. Why? Because P just is.
70.
Oh yeah. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, almost. Why?
Because
It's because
the other
S.
angles. Do we have to give a whole proof explanation?
This is P. This is 82. You have to say why.
So,
So like, you figured out this.
Good.
You figure out this. You figure out this. So do you have to explain all of that?
No, what could be your explanation? This plus.
So like P equals 82.
Yeah,
Like, do we have to say why P equals 82?
Yeah, like what added to what? You know, like
oh, okay.
thinking about what we just did.
Plus 70. 70.
I know it sounds like a lot of work. You have to add like a couple numbers, okay?
P plus 70 is equal, which is. Do you know why?
No, that's a lot of explanation, right?
Oh, we're not supposed to.
Well, it's. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take the pencil out of your hand, but what the Y part is, you know, like, can you be more precise?
More precise?
Well, like, instead of so many words, was there anything else that you could use? I'm just throwing it out there.
I think I can show you a word.
I want to erase it.
118.
So we know
we can subtract 118 from 180.
Hang on, wait a minute.
And then we
I don't understand what you're trying to get at.
See, okay, Giannis,
30 again.
since you got 50 for this,
Yeah.
And then this
112,
would be
180.
Okay.
We know is that one, since we know that that is 68, we know this is 62. T is 118.
If it's at least 90.
Absolutely no clue. We know this is
We still need to figure out
prove
either.
10.
We have to prove you. Alright, 62 and 78 is
140.
140.
So it equals 40, which means the supplementary angles equals 140.
90% sure.
It's what's given. You gotta go by what's given. Remember?
So with
So it's not
P has to be less than 90, right?
So P
Theoretically.
equals 98 is 70, then that's what Q equals. Q is what? 70 plus 90. 160. Oh. I didn't. You know what? I got that.
40, 90, 130. This is
So the red angle is also 30 degrees, which means
which we need to guess.
You know what that means? We have to write 5 verbs.
This is supplementary.
Thank you.
So we need R and we need U.
98.
okay, let's just go with them.
12.
Council, we have to have proof that we did that.
Yeah, we did that. According to them, we have
So you have all the numbers, and now you're just coming up with all the reasons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What they are. We just did reasons already.
Alright, so do you guys have all the numbers, or are you kind of going one by one by one by one?
Is 118, something like that, which is 62. So that would be 62. Vertical 62.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I can conclude by walking around the room. One, you really get these, and it's great. A lot of you went that algebra route and just started with all of the numbers. Fantastic. Here's what but the conclusion is you guys are going to need more time for this. Okay, so for the sake of, just not to just say, all right, finish it for homework. Let's not just say that. Let's just finish right where we are right now, knowing that tomorrow we're going to take those numbers that you used, all the algebra, you were using the geometry, adding, subtracting, using vertical angles and whatnot. What we want to do is to try to put those then now into reasons of why we're doing what we're doing. So there's definitely not going to be enough time today, which we finish. But Ashley, can you get the door? Because this guy's a lot. So here's what I'd like to do then tonight. On the blog, we've got a couple of things that we could do. Instead of, again, I think the power comes when you're working together on these angle relationships. So tonight, independently, if you could, the first thing before watching the videos, make sure that you're explaining, could you in your own words explain the proof that we did in class? Because again, we were kind of all in different places on that. We came up with the conclusion, alternate interior angles, supplementary. We came together as a class, that's not individually. So see how close that you can come individually on that. And then again, remember the way that you post again on our blog is just make down there's going to be your place for a comment. Post a comment. Here's what I'd like to see. Put them all in. Don't look at anybody else's. What we'll do tomorrow is look at everybody else's, see how the different explanations, and then we'll jump right back into finishing these. So each person's got a copy. So if for some reason your shoulder partner is absent tomorrow, you've got at least a copy of it. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so the proof that we did, could that go into your notes? Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be a great thing to put in your notes for sure. The next thing, make sure that, do you mind if I have that? Good. Make sure that you keep this for tomorrow. Don't lose it, please. And then we'll pick up right where we left off. Hopefully everybody is healthy tomorrow.